Hi everyone, it is Trixie here, and here is a rant video about sexuality and racism. I'm going to try and not blab as much in this one because I don't have a video editing software on my laptop. But here goes nothing. I'm asexual. I'm going to flat out fucking admit that. I am asexual. And a few days ago, I went through and scrolling through Facebook like I normally do because I have no life besides Facebook and Netflix. Like, I check Facebook because it helps. Yeah. But scrolling through Facebook and I saw that one of, like, a friend had posted asexual. Like, I don't get how people can be asexual. And if you're asexual, you're selfish because you're keeping sex from the other person and you're making the human race extinct and you're a horrible person. That pissed me off. Like, completely. Like, I went on a whole fucking rampage on his. Like, I went on a rampage. Because I'm like, okay, last time I checked, the human race wasn't going extinct because there are millions of babies born every fucking day. And last time I checked, sex wasn't fucking everything in a relationship. Sex shouldn't be everything in a relationship. You shouldn't have a relationship based on sex. And the thing that pissed me off about it was the fact that, every it seems like every other sexuality is accepted. But once it comes to a sexuality that doesn't want sex or doesn't get sexually attracted to people, people fucking lose their minds and think, "Oh, you're a horrible person." Like, fuck you, first of all, because we're not. And second of all, shut your whore mouth. Okay? Like, and the reason why I said whore mouth is because bullshit spews out of it. And it shouldn't have pissed me off like it did, but at the same time, it, it did. Because people are so stupid when it comes to other fucking sexualities anymore. Like, it irritates me. And it shouldn't irritate me, but it does. And, I made a status about it saying, I wish people would just learn to fucking accept my sexuality. And I wish people would just fucking learn that sex isn't everything in a relationship, and people would should learn that asexuals do exist, demisexuals exist, other sexualities exist, besides just the three sexualities that people usually hear of, which is actually no, it's four, but the four sexualities that they usually hear of, gay, lesbian, bisexual, and pansexual. Like, I went through and I said I'm asexual and I do exist. One of my friends just comments going, I hear you talk about, or I see statuses from you saying talking about sex all the time. Is this new for you? Now, that didn't piss me off. I just flat out said no, I've been asexual for a while because that statement really didn't piss me off. The statement that more so pissed me off was I hear you or I see you post statuses about sex all the time. Last time I checked, we can talk about sex all we fucking want to. We just don't want to have it. Like, that is how I am. Like, I'm comfortable talking about sex. I could do it. Like, it's not that big of a fucking deal to me. It's just sex. But what is a big deal to me is the fact that people aren't accepting the fact that we don't want to have sex. And I had a friend the other day go through and post or send me a message saying, was there a possibility you could be demisexual? I'm like, well, yeah, there's always that possibility. But for now, I feel more asexual than I do demisexual because sex just doesn't interest me. And I have people go through and say, oh, well, you just need to find the right guy or you need to find the right person to have sex. I'm like, no, fuck you. We do not. we could be in the greatest relationship ever. That person could be the greatest person in bed, and we could still find it disinteresting or uninteresting, whatever the fuck that word is. Like, fuck you. Don't fucking no. That's another thing that pisses me off. Is like people say, "Oh, you need to just find the right person, and then you'll feel great, and then you can procreate, and then you can have babies." And like, no, fuck you, dude. Just no. And I hate people who are biased about sexualities to begin with, but when it's biased against mine, that just makes me want to go up to that person and slap them and be like, get your head out of your fucking ass. Do your fucking research before you go through and you talk smack about us. Because, it's not like we don't want to have sex, because there are some asexuals that will have sex. And me being me is like, it's not like I'm refraining, like I'm gonna force the person that I'm with to deal with their hormones or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna force them to do that. Like, if it's not like sex is completely off the table for me, because I will have it, and like, I have nothing against having sex. It just doesn't interest me, and I don't get sexually attracted to people. And the fact that people can't understand that and say so much shit about asexuals, it pisses me off. Completely pisses me off, and I wish that I understood it more. But I probably never will, because people are so ignorant against it. Now, on the subject of racism, I'm half black. And to be completely honest, some people of my race are completely fucking stupid. And I'm not saying that all African Americans are like this. I'm not saying that, because I know a lot of African Americans that are great. My dad's family is fucking amazing. Like, I love them. That is how amazing they are, and I don't love them just because of my family. Because I have family members that I can't fucking stand. And that sometimes I wish would just go rot in a hole in the ground. Shouldn't talk about my family like that, but some of my family members get to that point. Where I'm getting at about how we're fucking stupid, or how they're fucking stupid, going through and getting arrested for selling drugs. And I know that this is not just African Americans. I know that it is Mexican Americans and Caucasians and all that stuff. But 9 times out of 10, you don't hear that much about Caucasians getting arrested for drugs, or Mexicans getting arrested for drugs. You usually hear that it's an African American person being stupid and selling meth, cocaine, whatever. Now, I get that it's, like I said, I get that it's more than just African Americans, because there's somebody that used to work somewhere that I used to sell cigarettes to all the time while I was working at my previous job, and he's white, and he just got arrested for selling meth. He was basically selling meth. But my whole thing is like, okay, they already covered the whole they're stupid and they sell drugs. Like, I have nothing against that. If you want to go through and you want to do drugs, that's fine. Just don't be stupid and do the drugs that can kill you. That's my whole thing. Because if you're going to go through and you're going to do meth, or cocaine, or heroin, or whatever the fuck you do, just be careful with it. And, like, I have no issues against drugs, but just be careful with them. But it's the other part of the whole racism rant is the fact that, some of my race go through, and some of the men just go through and knock up their baby mama and then want nothing to do with the baby. Or go through and get knocked up by the baby daddy, and then once goes through and applies for child support, food stamps, and yada yada yada, and lives off that instead of getting off their asses and getting a job. And I know that that is more than just African Americans, but 9 times out of 10, like I said, it's usually my race. Like, I don't know, it's just something. And it's that whole spectrum of the African Americans that makes us seem, or makes other races think that we're bad. That we just want to live off the government, or we can't go through and stay away from drugs, or we can't go through and we can't even walk down the street without wanting to shoot somebody. And that's just what pisses me off, because not all black people are that bad. And the fact that people can't fucking comprehend that, because it's really fucking irritating. Sorry I had to get out from people, but it's really irritating. Because we're not all that bad. We're amazing. Like, we've dealt with so much shit within this whole country's, this whole country's years of being a country, and even beforehand, we were brought over here as slaves. We were treated like shit. We couldn't even, go to the same schools as white people. We couldn't even drink out of the same water fountains. We couldn't go to the same restrooms. We were completely divided. And we're still divided. And people can't fucking understand that. And yeah, we're better than we were. But it's complete bullshit that racism still exists, and it's not just African Americans, it's against Mexicans, it's against Middle Easterners, it's against basically all races on the planet. Like, why? Hi, kitty. Like, why? Why do we do this? It's so stupid. We're all human beings. When we die, we will all go into the ground. We will go into the same place. Regardless of what your religion is, there's always an afterlife. So we will go into heaven, or we will go into hell, and we will go to purgatory. We will go wherever. We all go to the same place. We are all equal on the inside. And that's the thing that just pisses me off, because people seem to think that we're not, regardless of the race. And I'm gonna do a little blasting on Donald Trump right now. Which, to be completely honest, I like some of his ideas. I agree that we need to be more strict on illegal immigrants. And I agree that we need to be more strict on the amount of Middle Easterners that we let in our country. But at the same time, they're choosing to fucking come here. Especially the Mexicans. Like, they're choosing to come here. And yeah, they're not doing it the right way. But we should make it easier for them to come here. We're being completely rude to the people that want to be here. They come here because they hear our country is great. And there's more opportunity here. And that has been that way for a long, long, long time. And yet, the way Donald Trump is making it seem is like all Muslims are bad, all Mexicans are bad. No. Just no. We need to go through and we need to be more strict about it, but we don't need to be completely rude to them. They're choosing to come here. We should be nice and welcome them. And I get that we're trying to be, at least with the Middle Easterners, we're trying to go through and prevent ISIS and terrorists from coming here. I get that. That makes sense. But it's just this whole racism thing. I don't get why people can have so much hate in their heart for one race. I'm the kind of person who can just flat out, I can just flat out say, don't be racist, fucking hate everybody. Now, I don't mean hate everybody, But, dislike everybody. Don't just dislike one race or just one. Like, don't do that. Like, I have some people that I just can't stand. Like, if you can't stand somebody, fine. But don't make it out to be like you're a racist. Like, you don't want to, if you don't, like, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, don't go through and don't hate everybody. But if you don't want to like a specific person because of who they are, that's stupid. I'm sorry, but that's stupid. They can't help the person that they are. And I guess that's just where I'm going with all this ranting right now. If somebody is gay, they did not choose to be that way. If somebody is of a different race than you are, they did not choose to be that. We have no control over the people that we are. We have no control over that. And, but we do have control over the way that we think. Like, I was raised Catholic. And since I was like 15, I branched away from all that. I chose to think differently. Like, I still believe that there is a higher power up there, and I still believe in an afterlife out there. But do I believe that just one person created it? No. And there's no proof for that. And I can just flat out say, you can believe whatever you want to believe. But don't believe that all races are bad, and don't believe that all sexuality is a sin. And that's just where my point is going. Don't be an asshole. Okay? Just don't be an asshole. Learn to accept that the world is changing around you and be more open to it. If you don't understand something, ask questions. Do research on it. Don't go through and just decide, oh, well, this person's gay, I'm not going to talk to him anymore. They're a bad person now because they're gay. Or this person is of a different race than I am, I'm not going to talk to him anymore because that race is a horrible, horrible race that does horrible, horrible things. And I'm going to be completely honest, when it comes to Caucasians, in all honesty, you did worse things to all those other races than we did to you. Think about that. Because when you came here, because we are not all from America, when you came here, you went through and you pushed the Native Americans out. You went through and you raped the Native Americans. You went through and you pushed them into all sorts of things. You pushed them out of their land. You brought disease to them. You did a fuckload more shit than you care to admit. And then you went through and you brought the African Americans here and you enslaved them. And then you went through and you made the women constantly procreate. And then sometimes you even went through and you slept with the black women. And you made babies with them. And you didn't even acknowledge that child. You just said, oh, hey, that's your problem. And then you went through and when they had their own babies to feed, you went through and you made them feed your own. And I'm not saying you as a person, I mean your ancestors. Caucasians did a lot worse than our race has done. Or other races have done. You guys just need to fucking think about that. And yes, I'm talking to the Caucasians, but I'm only talking to the Caucasians who are being racist. You guys did worse than we ever did to you. You're completely avoiding the side of the spectrum. Don't believe all that the history books have taught you. Please don't. Because as a history geek, I can just flat out say the history books are not always right. And you need to go through and you need to learn about both sides of the spectrum. Learn about what you did to the Native Americans. Learn about what you did to the African Americans. Learn what you did to the Asians after Pearl Harbor. And George Takei can be a good reference for that because he was imprisoned in, I think, Arizona after Pearl Harbor because he looked like the people who bombed Pearl Harbor. Like, just do research, please, before you decide to hate somebody because of their sexuality and their race. That's where I'm going with this. And I am going to go. But please, please, please do the research before you decide to be a bigot asshole. Get your head out of your ass. It's not a hat. And learn that this is 2016. We are better than this. I'm gonna go. To all of you, I'm sorry for this rant, but I needed to get this out of my system. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I'm going to go through, and this is my second video this week. I am proud of myself, but I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna make more videos. I don't know if it's gonna be rant videos, funny videos, whatever. I haven't decided yet, but you know, thumbs up, subscribe. I will try to make videos as much as possible. I will see all you guys probably, I don't remember when I uploaded my last video. I think it was last Tuesday, so I'll see you guys in a few days, okay? You know, thumbs up, subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do. But I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. You're amazing. You're smart. You're beautiful. You're talented. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Bye.